Gallo. I'm 36 years old. And
Hi guys, welcome to the SuRge podcast. So do you want to introduce yourself first?
I'm Sam Gallo. I'm 36 years old and I'm a co-founder of SuRge.
I'm Rishi and I'm 39 years old. I'm the other co-founder of SuRge.
So today's podcast is just letting your listeners understand more about the business, understand what your philosophy for fitness training and the entrepreneurship mind behind this creation of yours. So you guys started a very successful business, SuRge 2 locations now. When you guys first had this idea to do your own thing, was there a problem that you see in the business you're trying to fix that made you want to come out and start your own?
So I think there was a couple of problems. I'll touch on one. The thing that perhaps bothered me the most was two parts, I guess. Loyalty kind of not being rewarded or almost being taken advantage of. Where year after year, people who started with the business were told that their prices were going up. And that really pissed me off because I had clients that started with me on day one, 3, 4, 5 years later, were told that they had to pay more and more money for me to train with me. And obviously I had no control over whether I could charge them less or more, right? It was, you're in the business, this is it, this is how it is, so tough luck. And then the second part was clients kind of being used as marketing tools, where it's like, okay, you come in, get in shape, make sure you get transformation, and then we're gonna showcase your story, and then I guess the loyalty part kind of comes in after that, where it's like, well, okay, now you've kind of had your transformation, you've gotten your results, you know, and if you leave because your prices are going up or you've gotten your result, then so be it. Someone else is gonna come in next. So it was just the fact that, at least from our point of view or my point of view, clients were not being looked after. There wasn't enough long-term care or the need to care for them long-term. It was a matter of come in, you're a transaction, and then on to the next. And that was, for me at least, the big driver for wanting to start this.
I see.
No, I think
That was
we both solved the same problem, so we were looking at the same things. What we were trying to change in SuRge was like, we want you to progress at your own pace, and at the end of the day, we are happy to share a client's testimonial and to share a client's journey. But for us, it's about changing the client's life for a lifetime. So what me and Rishi decided, if what we call a transformation, or you can call a body change, it's taking 6 months instead of 8 weeks, but it's something that we teach you to do in the right way, with a healthy habit, with the right at your pace. For us, that's a bigger success than just achieve a short time frame and then maybe you rebound back to where you were before.
I see.
I guess the other thing was retention of important people, where you know, guys that feel like they want to progress faster in their careers but are being held back potentially. Especially the ambitious ones are ones that end up leaving because they don't see a path beyond a certain point of, okay, I'm now earning X amount of money and potentially that's capped. And what's next? Like, to be able to earn without necessarily having to always be on the gym floor. To have a piece of a business, or to be a business owner, like we ended up being. A lot of guys, at least the ambitious ones, we feel want that at some point in their lives, in their careers as PTs. We want to bring all of them together in one place under one brand, because those are the guys we want on the team. We now have 7 of them. We're going to have many more of them. But when you put people with similar mindsets in one place, good things can happen. I think that's the second reason why we started SuRge.
I would love to explore further about the hiring portion and also it becoming real. The model of being like a PT gym, it's always fun to have your own business at the beginning, a lot of creation. But is there a point in time where you guys are figuring it out and it started becoming very terrifying? And what made you want to continue on pushing your business on, especially when you have to start from ground zero?
Like we had a lot of idea, a lot of brainstorming session with Rishi. COVID gave us the time because suddenly we had plenty of time. I wasn't conducting any online classes. Rishi was doing very, very few. So finally in my life, I got back sometimes. And that time allowed us to do plenty of brainstorming session together and thinking about what SuRge could be. And we slowly start to develop the idea. Little by little, the pieces come in together. As we've been working all our life as a coach, and we knew what a coach could be excited of. So we wanted to build a structure where the coaches would be excited to work for. PT can be lonely to some degree because you always like work as a solo, but I love winning as a team. And we create a structure to think and help our coaches to come together as a team, to win as a team, to lose as a team, and that's how things slowly came together.
Okay, you said about how you want coaches to be, you want to do a business where coaches are excited about. So actually giving coaches a stake, which is something that you guys have introduced into the business, of giving coaches a portion of like being partners of the business, is a big stake and could be naive to some people. What's your actual personal argument against it and made you do it anyways?
Because I realized on myself how much having ownership meant for how much output and how much care I had for the business. So I thought if my coaches and my team has the same ownership and the same commitment that I have towards the business, we can just succeed. And if you have a care and commitment for the business, means you care for everything. You care for your clients, you care for your team, you care for the space. And I couldn't be happier than that decision to share the business with the team, because I can feel that vision finally coming together and it's getting excited and excited.
What?
More exciting and more exciting. I was kidding.
He was in the moment.
We can always translate Sam if we need to.
Okay. Just now Sam mentioned that it can get lonely with PT. The model has been around forever, but most gyms eventually drift away from it because scale demands for it. What is this philosophy to keep true to a PT structure, even though there's definitely pressure where pushes you to want to go to the other direction?
I don't know if it's pressure necessarily. I think that if we think back to, again, I go back to COVID because it was a moment in our lives that taught us a lot. And during COVID, everybody went online and everyone did things virtually. Everything was Zoom, and even gatherings were on Zoom. People were drinking together in their own houses, but then they were watching each other on camera. And slowly but surely, everybody got fatigued by the idea of everything being virtual. Because naturally, us as humans, we crave human connection. And we crave being together in one room like we are now. We crave being in the same environment as hundreds and hundreds of people partying and celebrating. That's just who we are, that's human nature. So it was going to happen where people would want to get back into gyms. Now, whether that was with a PT, whether that was in a commercial style setting, whether that was in a group style environment, all of these businesses, as you've seen post-COVID, have succeeded. If you do things right, you do things well, you have a good chance of being successful. With PTs, I think we are probably one of the few professionals, I think you can call us that, professionals, where maybe I'm jumping ahead, but I don't think AI is going to be able to take over our business or take over what we do, because we're able to have that human connection, continue to have it, really get to know our clients, really help them, spend time listening to them. It's not going to be the same with a computer or a robot. So maybe to go back to your question, there's no real pressure on us to kind of build the PT model, if you will. We just think that it's going to continue to grow, and we need to be one of the ones that are at the front of that line when it comes to being known for personal training.
That's a good point. But there are also people who are PTs, but then the value that they put on their business is different from a boutique gym way of pricing, like the valuation. So if from your perspective, how would you actually tell people who are not familiar with this side of fitness that there's a reason why it's priced this way? Like the value that a PT can bring.
The way we priced ourselves is we looked at what the market was doing, like other boutique PT specific gyms. We don't look at commercial gyms and say, oh, we got to compare to them, right? So everybody else in the industry, in Singapore, we look at how they price themselves, and then we say, okay, this is where we feel comfortable being at. And I think ultimately what we offer our clients, the level of care, the attention to detail, the willingness to go above and beyond to help them go from point A to point B, caring about every single rep when they're on the gym floor, checking in with them on a daily basis when they're outside by themselves. If they spend 2 or 3 hours a week with us, that's 165 hours themselves. That's where I guess we make our money, is when we spend as much time as we can helping them every step of the way, from things like getting a menu of a restaurant that we know they're going for and saying, okay, these are the 5 or 6 things that you should be eating so that you can still stick to your diet, but still have a good time and not feel like you're sacrificing or restricting yourselves, even though you're going out for a social occasion, to doing research in advance and finding out where they plan to travel to, which hotel they're staying in, and then looking at all the restaurants around the hotel and saying, okay, these are your options. Or knowing exactly what is being offered at the hotel breakfast buffet and saying, okay, this is what you can go and eat, so that when you're outside and you have less control over the food that you have access to, you can still stick to your diet, right? And still stay on track and make progress even when you travel. So I think all of these extra things that traditional PTs may not necessarily think about or offer their clients is what we feel like can justify the price that we charge.
For sure. Okay. So, Sam, you were a trainer and you were a mentor at your other gym that you worked at. So you came from a PT world before becoming a founder. What actually being a coach taught you, or like habits that you created or know from being a PT that made you the founder that you are now?
I would say I didn't have to learn anything specific. I'm still be a PT in my mind because I love to do what I do, and this is my passion, and this was my dream job 15 years ago, 20 years ago when I started to work out for my first time. The ability to help people to get stronger, to get fitter, to change their life for the better, that was my dream. And when I had the opportunity to work overseas, that was another of my dream. In the industry that I wanted, for me was like the crown of an objective, of a dream again. And now the fact that I slowly transition from a role from a PT to a founder, it means just like hundreds of different challenges, that I had to go through and make mistake. But those are challenges of life and allow me to become the professional I am today. I still had a long way to go, but I always believe that you grow out of challenge and uncomfortable situation, and this for me was the best things could happen.
Building this business for two of you is definitely very personal. So actually the first few hires matter a lot because it sets the tone for the company. The first person that you guys brought in, or the first two, what about them that made you want to choose them to set the first crew of the company? And how did that set the tone of the future hires moving forward?
I'm a positive person by myself, a super optimist, and always think that destiny has the answer for you. So back then, I probably wasn't even sure what I was looking for when I was going to hire, but destiny put together probably the best people we could met at the specific time of our life. So it happened to be Ben and Shakir, and those guys now are partner. They're still with us and are part of the backbone of SuRge. So I don't know how to answer your question, but I know that those were the right people, and I'm glad that destiny, fate, religion brought them with us in the first place.
Okay.
I mean, the two of us actually did the interview for Shakir, but Benny wasn't someone I had met until, well, we were working in two separate gyms originally, Sam and I, and Sam met Benny and both of us interviewed Shakir. But Sam, well, after we said okay to Shakir, Sam was like, oh, I think you should meet this guy Benny. You know, he has the right attitude. He's not sure whether he wants to continue doing this by himself. It could be someone worth bringing on board. And so naturally you have the meetings, you get a sense of whether or not they have the right attitude, whether they have long-term ambition in mind. And then you just say, okay, let's take a chance. At the time, it was two of us, so we didn't really have much to lose. You know, if it didn't work, well, it'd be back to the two of us, and we were already quite comfortable doing that. So it was a matter of, well, these are the first two that have shown any interest in joining us. Let's see what happens, and we did. And then, as Sam said, they're both partners now, so it worked out.
I think that's a good sign. The fact that you're still here as partners. Having been in the industry for so long as PTs and then now as founders in the same industry, if there's one assumption about the fitness industry that they hold as gospel, of course you have some thoughts about it, otherwise, what would it be?
Like, I wouldn't say it's a belief, but in the fitness industry, you see plenty of trend. You see CrossFit coming in, you see Spartan race, you see high rocks, you see ice bath and infrared sauna. You see plenty of things that most of them come from US, supported by a huge amount of money from marketing, medias, and then there is us that probably I don't see us as a trend. The PT, strength training, nutrition, good habits, sleep, I feel is the base of everything you want to do in life. And if you want to live longer with a great quality of life, all the rest, in my opinion, are trends that will come and go. But PT and strength training is here to stay.
Again, I don't know if this is a fitness industry thing, but people often think, oh, PT is not for me. I think this maybe applies to the younger generation, maybe more so like their parents saying, oh, I don't think my child or whatever is ready for PT just yet. And then you have people in the middle like, oh, I already know what I'm doing, so what value am I going to get with the PT? And then you get the older generation where they're afraid and like, well, I think it's too late for me now. Like, what's PT gonna do for me? And I think PT is for everyone. Ultimately, everyone can get something out of working with a PT, whether it's as simple as learning how to use machines that they see in any gym safely. Where it's like, okay, let's do this for a few weeks, let me learn everything I need, and then I'm off on my own, and I'll just go and do that over and over again, rinse and repeat. Okay, that's great. Whether it's I want to learn how to structure my food better on a daily basis because I want to lose weight and I don't understand why that's not working for me right now. Okay, spend some time and learn how to do that. Whether it's, oh, I've got aches and pains, or I've just recovered from an injury and I want to get back to playing football. But I don't know how to do that. Okay, find a PT and let them teach you, right? How to do that, what exercises to do, how to do it, what are the things you need to be looking for, what things you need to be mindful of. Essentially rehab. And then you have people that have tried many different things and just haven't been able to find success. PTs can help you there as well. You have people that are looking for some help, but they don't know where to go or which gym to start with or which PT to find because there's an abundance of information on the internet and people often get quite confused as to what they should start doing or how they should start doing it. And then they naturally gravitate to things that are a bit more feeling dynamic, interactive, things like, Sam has said group classes, for example, without necessarily having the right foundation in place before they do that. And then what you often find is injuries happen or, they don't see progress the way they want. For those people as well. I think PT is for everyone. Everybody can get value from working with a personal trainer for as short or as long a time as they wish. It's just a matter of what you're looking for and whether or not getting in shape, getting healthy is a priority for you.
What you mentioned about AI and also what you also said just now, which is that apps and AI and even like those Nike stuff on running, for instance, that's a trend, is become very popular. Why would a gym still remain very relevant even though you can see that there's so many things coming up? Is it because of just the personal touch that you were talking about that you bring?
Like in a world that moving towards AI, moving towards automation, moving towards I click something on my laptop and I get all the answer. I feel the human touch, the human connection is even more relevant. Apps, laptop can tell you things, can tell you how things should be done, but a PT is there with you. It's not just listening about, it's just not looking at your form, it's just not counting reps. It's not just planning for you, it's there to support you the days that you sleep badly. It's there to support you the day that you couldn't eat properly because you were too busy at work. It's there for you. And the human connection, I feel more we're moving towards automation, more will be craved from people. Now you mentioned AI, apps, running club is probably the opposite, it's different. Running clubs is a community type of things. You can get a human touch, but you don't get someone dedicated and fully care about you. Everyone running, thinking about themselves and chatting about their life with you, but you don't have someone that is vested in your goals in a running club, and that's what a PT can do.
Perfect. That's very, very true.
Something to add there also. I think for a lot of people, once they start PT, they realize that it's the ultimate convenience because depending on who you are, what your job is, how much time you have available to you in a given week, for those that are time poor, the last thing they want to do is spend time figuring out how to work out, what exercises to do. Yeah, there are apps that can tell you what exercises to do or what workouts to do, but then what weight should you be using? How should you be doing the exercise? Should you be doing it this way or this way? So I think PTs provide a level of convenience where someone can just show up and get an hour workout done at an intensity they may not be able to do by themselves because there's someone there to make sure that you're safe and that you're pushing yourself in an environment where everyone's on the same boat and doing the same thing, which is another layer of potential motivation or even competition where it's like, oh shit, I just saw that guy, he looks similar to me, he can do 65 kilos on a bench press, so I can only do 60. Well, now I want to also lift 65, so that there's that level of competition that you may get by working in a gym that, as I said, everyone's kind of in the same boat. So which I don't think people talk about enough.
That's a good point. As a founder, metrics matters a lot, correct? Like your retention rate, your revenue per member, and all that stuff. But so far having 2 gyms now, what can you say that is going well in the business if you guys don't have metrics, like these numbers? What is a signal that things are going the way you want it to be from when you started the brand on day one?
My favorite book is probably the art of the magic of thinking big, and I really like the attitude of the writer, and one key lesson that I took from the book, even if it's an old book, I think it's in mid-50s or 1950s, is that service first, money later. So don't focus on the money, don't focus on the revenue, focus on the service. Because if you are able to provide a great service, money will be just a consequence of it. And seeing how we've been growing over time, see how we've been improved our service over time, I know that we are going towards the right direction.
That's great. Okay.
On a yearly basis, we have a yacht party. So I know things are going well because every year our yacht gets bigger and bigger because we have more and more people in the team. So naturally, when you have more people, you're doing more sessions. When you're doing more sessions, you're potentially making more money. So just having a bigger yacht year after year is a good way to get a sense that things are going in the right direction. I mean, yes, okay, we have a second gym. We're looking for a third gym. There will be a gym number 4. Who knows beyond that, right? But I think just being in a position where we can take a step back, see the people that we have on the team now, see how big the team is getting, knowing that everybody belongs and fits like a big giant puzzle, everybody is kind of a piece to that puzzle, is a nice way to realize and appreciate that we're doing the right things, and I guess sky's the limit.
Okay, great. Now that you see how much SuRge has grown and how everything is going in the right direction, do you ever have a time where you're like, okay, you want to do something different with the brand?
I think you can venture in a lot of different directions. Fitness is fitness, wellness, health, can branch in so many more things, so many more services. But at the end of the day, we want to be the master of one skill. I would rather be known as the best personal training gym in Southeast Asia, in Asia, than a good gym that do everything, or the good gym that tries to give any kind of service. And if anything, I believe our direction it will be to become better and better in delivering personal training service.
That's true. Be good at one.
Yep. Be good at one. I think there are different demographics that we've perhaps yet to really tap into, that we're slowly starting to see are looking for PT. So that's something that's quite exciting. I think for me personally, it's a project that I've always been interested in. So look out for 2027. SuRge for, I'm not gonna say what it is yet, but it's gonna happen next year.
Okay. Alright. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this podcaster called Rich Roll. He always makes the case that physical discipline is inseparable from mental and creative output. Do you think, now that you're a founder with successful gyms, think that the way a founder treats their own body is a leading indication of how they will run the business and how they make it grow?
Yeah, 10 years ago when I came to Asia, I was really surprised how so many successful businessmen, business owners, they were completely unfit. And puzzled my mind how someone can be so successful on their work life and so unsuccessful with themselves. And I'm so glad that the trend over the last few years has been changing. Now a founder that take care of himself and look fit and healthy is not a founder that working less hours in the office. It's a founder that not just care about the business but himself as well. And for me that's a huge win. And for us as a founder working in a health industry, there is no excuse on why don't walk the talk and be fit and healthy ourselves. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I wouldn't be able to keep my health.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you said it right. You know, health is wealth.
Okay.
You can be rich. You're not going to be able to enjoy money if you can't walk and get on a plane and travel the world and eat good food. If you're sitting in a wheelchair, you know, and for some reason you're unable to do things, all the good stuff requires you to be able to stand up, move around, move freely, move without pain. So you need your health to do a lot of things in life. And I think without it, then you're just not going to be able to truly max out and enjoy life to the fullest. You only get one, so if you're healthy, then you'll be able to really take advantage of the fact that you have, you know, an infinite number of years if you think about it, but make the most out of every single day. But it starts with your health. If you're physically healthy, you're mentally healthy. If you're mentally healthy, you can do whatever you want.
Okay. Thank you for your time. It's been very great and insightful. And any last words for the listeners who are keen to find out more about SuRge? Sometimes
It's scarier in your mind than actually experience. Calm down. If you've never done strength training before, if you never worked with a coach before, calm down, speak with an expert, and take a small leap of faith, and you will be surprised how exciting is starting a strength training journey supported by a PT.
Nice. Very good end. Okay, cut.